relationship news this morning.
A lot of it. I'm reading all this stuff, all this marriage news.
Two different studies out this morning. One saying divorce and also losing your job could be the two biggest setbacks to your happiness in life. Saying, well, people who've gotten divorces might say, wait a second, I think I'm happier now that I'm single.
Right.
But they're saying many studies haven't taken into account these big emotional changes that you feel in your life, and it could have long-term effects.
Which isn't surprising, and we were talking about this in a meeting yesterday. I think a lot of people say, you know, what, I'm getting divorced, I'm walking away, you know, I'm upset, or, you know, I'm getting fired, I don't care. But it turns out, you know, inside, it does matter. It takes an emotional toll on your body.
And another study out as well on this relationship topic that says, you know what, if you're sleeping in separate bedrooms and you're married, you could be having some trouble as well. Let's bring in therapist Arlene Foreman to sort all of this craziness out for us this morning in these relationship stories. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so first of all, sleeping in separate bedrooms and you're married, is that setting up you for failure later?
Well, for me, the point of marriage is to feel good. And to feel good, I've got to maintain the oxytocin hormone in my brain. And the way to maintain it is cuddle and hug and touch. And if I'm sleeping in separate beds, that's kind of hard.
You know, I was reading up on this study, and while we're talking about, you know, sleeping in the same bed or what have you, so many people, I don't want to go off on a tangent, but so many adults snore. And I think the reality is people are so busy these days, they just want to get a good night's sleep. And if you're sleeping next to someone who snores, you know, you just can't handle it. So people, I think 75% of adults, they say, you know, snore. So people just end up going in separate rooms.
That's okay if you need to sleep because somebody snores or whatever, but at least get in the same bed before you go to sleep and cuddle, and maybe even wake up 10 minutes early and get in the same bed and cuddle before you get your day started, so you got your oxytocin going most of the night and during the day.
I think hopefully my mom is listening to that, because, you know, my dad snores so loudly, and half the night I think she has to hit him in the ribs. So Mom, if you're watching, at that point, get out of bed and go sleep on the couch for a little while. Let's talk about this other study, though, Arlene. It's interesting that saying divorce, people might be repressing these feelings. If you get a divorce, it may lead to some sort of emotional damage later in life.
Well, you know, you ever hear the saying, everything changes and nothing changes? Mm-hmm. If you get a divorce and you just change the place you live and the partner, and you didn't change your skills, the way you relate to people, of course you're still depressed or you still have the same problems. That doesn't happen to my clients. Whether they stay together or they get divorced, they learn new skills and they have a better sense of how to connect to people. So it works for them either way.
Yeah, that's
a light bulb just went off. I have to I promise you that that makes so much sense.
It's true.
I guess that's why some people, you know, you keep getting into these bad relationships because they aren't changing, so to speak.
That's right. And pick the same kind of people. Nothing changed.
And what about losing a job, really quickly? Losing a job, you just say, well, I was fired, I don't care. Do you really care?
You know, in this pocket, I care, and it's devastating, and in this pocket, it's an opportunity. And I've had many people that have been devastated and crushed, and a year later saying, oh my God, it was the best thing that happened to me.
All right, Arlene Foreman, therapist for us. Thank you so much this morning. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's true. You know, you think about those books, I Got Fired, Donald Trump, all those other people that say I got fired and then they made something of it.
Maybe that's your sign to try something new.